Hello, my name is Gabriel and today I'm gonna teach you how to draw a floor plan in Autocad. I know everybody's time is precious, so let's get started. First of all, I want to turn off these grid lines in the background. So to do that, I'm just gonna click here on display drawing grid. Good. Now let's draw like professionals and let's define our layers which we will use in our project. To do that, we go here at layer properties. If you don't find it, make sure you are in the home menu. Now to create a new layer, you can click here on new layer, or you can right click here and click on new layer. Our first layer, which will be for our walls, so I'm just gonna type here walls. As you can see, we have several options for layers. In this case, we can turn it on or off, or we can freeze it, we can lock it, we can change the color. So in this case, I actually want to change the color, so I'm gonna click here. As you can see, you can choose a color from this index colors, or you can create your customized color from here, or you can choose a color from color books. I'm gonna choose that quickly, just this brown color here. Now you see this line type is continuous. For in this case I want to be continuous, but I want to change the line weight, so I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna choose this 0.30 millimeters. The transparency is 0, which I want to be 0. Plot style, this is automatically, but here on the plot section, if I'm clicking here, you see this red mark means that when I'm printing the drawing, this layer, it won't be printed. So of course I want to print the drawing, these walls, so I'm gonna leave it like this. Now let's add another layer, and this layer will be called grid lines, for our grid lines, of course. In this case I want to change the color, let's say this purple color, but I want to change the line type too. So to do that, I'm gonna go here. As you can see, there's only this continuous type line, but we can load more. So I'm gonna look for a dash dot line, which is this one. Okay, we change the line type of our layer. We'll change the line weight as well, 0.09 millimeters, and that's it. Let's move on with our layers. Okay, now that we have defined our layers, let's move on. But first I want to specify that, as you can see, I avoided light colors because sometimes they won't be properly printed on white paper. Okay, we'll continue drawing our grid lines. So first of all, I'm gonna select as active layer the grid line layer. So to do that, I'm gonna go here and just double click. This red mark means that active layer is grid line now. I'm gonna close this. So basically a grid line, it's actually a line. So to draw a line, I can select the line from here, again from the home menu, or I just can type L or line, again the hotkeys, which I told you they are very important in this software. Now I'm gonna specify the first point, so I'll specify by actually left click, and now the second point, it can be anywhere you want, and you can finish by just simply click somewhere, or you can type the dimension that you want. So we're working in millimeters, so I just will type, make sure the line is straight. I'll just type 10,000 millimeters, which means 10 meters. All good. We have our grid line. Well, now the next grid line, as you can see, I started with vertical grid lines first. The next grid line is at 5,800 millimeters away. Now to do that I just have to copy this grid line, so I will select it like this from right to left, and to copy again you have this button here, copy, or you can just type copy. Now again we have to specify a base point. Let's make it here, for example. I told you 5800, so I'll just type here 5800 and press escape. Now we have this second grid line. The next grid line, again I select this one, I'm gonna copy it. It's 2200 away from this grid line, so I'm just gonna type here 2000, that's it. And one more vertically grid line, but this time I'm not gonna copy it by this copy button. I'm gonna use the offset command. So to do that, again I can click here or I can type offset. Now in this case I just have to write the distance I want to move this, I want to copy this line. So in this case it's 3500. I'm gonna press enter. Now in this case the offset command is I can move this, I can copy this line to the right or to the left. I want it to the right, so I'm just press one click, left click. Now we have our grid lines, vertically grid lines. We'll do the same thing with the horizontal grid lines. So I'm just gonna make a line. Let's see, for example, from here to here. I'm gonna select this line. I'm gonna just copy it. You can choose each method you want. It's again 3500. Okay. Now, if you remember, the next grid line is again 3500 millimeters from the second grid line. So this means in total I'll have to type 7000. That's it. And the last one, it's 1 meter away from the previous one. So in this case 7000 with 1000, that means 8000. Press escape. We have our grid lines. Let's say, for example, to extend these grid lines, I don't know, let's make it for, extend them for 1000 millimeters again. So to do that I'm just gonna create one line, a temporary line, or I can just offset this one with 1000. I know it's a temporary line. For example, I'm gonna change the color, so I know it's a temporary line. Make this yellow color, that's it. To extend these lines, one method is to select each line and to drag this line until it meets my temporary line. To do that with all the lines. But what if I have a lot of lines? This will take a lot. So to other method to do that, I'll select, first of all I will use the extend command. The extend command is here, trim or extend. In this case I want to use extend command. I'm gonna choose the line where I'm extending to, then I'm pressing enter, and then I'm just selecting the lines I want to extend. As simple as that. Press escape, delete the temporary line, and I show you the extend command. Okay, now that we have created our grid lines, let's continue to our walls. But first of all, our grid lines should be dash dot line type, and here it looks like a continuous line. So I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna select all the lines and then I just have to change the line type scale. I think 50 will work. Yes, as you can see now it's visible. Okay, let's continue. To create our walls, which our walls have 300 millimeters thickness and an extra 100 millimeters insulation, I'm going to choose the offset command, and I'm gonna type here 150 millimeters because our grid lines are in the center of the walls. So I'm gonna do that to every grid line, and make sure you are doing on both ways. Okay, almost done. That's it. Let's change the layer type of these lines. I'm gonna select all of them. I can select all of them and change the layer type, or I'm gonna change the layer type of these selected lines. It's very easy, just click on the walls. And now I'm gonna use the match properties command, which is right over here, or just you can type MA. Very easy, match properties. Now I'm gonna select the source object, and then I'm gonna select the destination which I want to change. This one. Yeah. Like this. That's good, but I don't like this dark color of our walls, so I'm gonna change it to a lighter one. I'm gonna go here to layer properties again, and here on walls layer I'm gonna choose other color. Probably this one will work. Let's see. Yeah, looks better. Now, to be easy for me to continue, I'm gonna hide the grid lines. To do that, I'm gonna go back to layer properties, and here on the grid lines I'm gonna turn off this light bulb here. I'm just gonna click here, and I'm gonna answer turn the current layer off. I can turn it on anytime I want. Okay, now I'm gonna show you another command which is called fillet. So I'm gonna type here fillet, but before that I'm gonna make sure the radius is 0 in here. So now it's 0, I can change to any other radius if I want, but I want to be 0. I'm gonna click enter. I'm gonna choose the lines like this. It's very easy. Now I can type fillet each time I want to use the command, or I can press enter, because when I press enter it activates the previous command. So each time I want to use the command I'm gonna press enter and I'll use it. I'm gonna go like this. Now here I don't have a wall, so I'm gonna use the fillet command over here. Here I don't have a wall either, so I'm gonna use the command here. Okay, here I don't have a wall. That's it. I'm gonna press escape. I want to delete these lines because I don't have a wall here. I will delete with trim usually, and select all, and just use the trim command. It's useful and you'll use it a lot in your project. Okay, now let's delete the extra lines, I don't need them. Yeah, it simply just pressed delete and that's it. Now in here we'll have our stairs, and because of that our wall here, it won't be on the same line with this one, it will be somewhere above. So I'm gonna select this line and press offset again and type 2000 millimeters, that's it, and again offset with 150 millimeters. Oh sorry, it's offset with 300 millimeters. That's it, because we have here the stairs, this wall it's not, it won't be here at all. So I'm gonna use the fillet command again, and that's it. Now if you have a gap like this, no problem, just select the line and stretch it until it meets the other one. That's it. Now let's create our stairs. I'm gonna choose the trim command one more time here. That's it. To create our stairs, first I will make an offset to 1000. Here will be our landing, and I'm gonna create a line from the middle to somewhere over here. But remember, if you look up there, we are still in grid line layer, which right now it's hidden. So if I'm trying to create a line, no matter which direction, it won't be visible. So I'm gonna change the layer type now to stairs. I'm gonna make a line starting from the middle here. Well, if you don't have this middle point here like this, probably you have to go here on tracking settings. Actually we have to go here on object snap. As you can see, all of mine are selected. We can deselect all or just click here and click select all. That's it. Okay, next let's continue. Let's create a line. I don't know right now how long it is, our line. I'm just gonna go here. Now what I can tell you is that if you have our floor 3000 millimeters height, which means 3 meters, and our steps will have 150 millimeters height, this will be probably 20 steps. So I'm going to use this command right now and make it like this, 150 millimeters. So I'm going to create 20 of these. I think one more. Yeah, that's it. With this line I'm going to offset to 50. That's it. I'm going to use the trim command. You can make your stairs as how do you want them to make, more complicated, less complicated, it's up to you. I'm just gonna make another line here. Where is the middle? Yeah, this is the middle. I'm gonna go here. And I'm gonna go here. can move this one to the middle. Where is the middle point? No. Choose the move. Yeah, it's on the middle. And usually to represent the direction of the stairs, we'll use the line command again. We'll make like an arrow. Now right, to make sure I'm creating the same line here, I'm gonna use the mirror command, which is over here. I'm gonna click on it. I'm gonna click here. Erase the source object. No. I'm gonna press enter. Looks like an arrow. And then we can put here dimensions, number of steps, height and width and everything. Okay. Let's create our insulation. I'm gonna select each line with offset command again. Now I'm gonna type 100 millimeters. That's it. Oh, good. Fillet command again to connect these lines. Okay, we are good so far. Now let's create our doors and our windows. To do that, it's very easy. I'm just gonna type a line, let's say over here. I'll change the layer type from now to doors. Yeah, that's it. Let's say our door will have 900 millimeters opening, so I'm gonna choose offset with 900. That's it. Now I'm gonna delete these lines with trim again and select all. That's it. Now I'm gonna create this line which is 900. That's it. Let's change our active layer to doors. Okay, and choose the match properties to change this line type. That's it. Now here we have to create an arc. So to do that, I'm gonna select this one, arc in 3 points. That's it. We have our door. We can adjust this one like this. How do you want it? You can move your door up and down. Usually this line, usually this one is represented as the wall, so I'm gonna change it to a wall. Yeah, this is it. In the same way, we are creating our windows. Let's create 2 windows in here. So again, I'm gonna make a line. Now I'm gonna change the layer, the active layer to windows. That's it. Double click here. Let's change this one to windows. Okay. Let's say our window, it's 120 millimeters, 1200 millimeters wide. That's it. Oh, I had to press offset first. 1200. That's it. Now I'm gonna not gonna do anything right now. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna select this and I'm just gonna copy them to the right. Good. I'm gonna trim this again. Good. I'm gonna change the line type with match properties. I just can. That's it. Now I'm gonna type this line again. And I'm gonna make a simple representation of the window with a line here. I'm gonna copy this line again lower. Yeah, that's it. And I'll make a line here. I'm gonna choose the mirror command with this one. We have represented our window. I'm gonna select these lines from here. I'm gonna copy them to the other window. We'll do the same for all our doors and windows. Okay, we've added our doors and windows. I'll give you the dimensions later on. But now I want few more walls to make because we don't have a bathroom in here. To do that, I'm gonna activate our grid lines layers again. I'm gonna go to home menu, go to layer properties. I'm gonna make the grid line layers visible again. That's it. Our bathroom will be somewhere over here, so I'm gonna make an offset 1000 to the right, and again on offset to 1500 to the left, and I'm gonna offset this line to 2000 at the bottom. I'm gonna change this line type with match properties. That's it. I'm gonna use the fillet command again. And again fillet command. I'm gonna delete this line with trim. I'm gonna delete these ones. Now these walls will be 150 millimeters thick. So again offset command 150. With fillet command again, I'm gonna join them. Okay, let's copy a door, for example this one. I'm gonna copy like this, select the base point, let's put our door here. That's it. I'm gonna move it down here. I'm gonna create a line. That's it. Match properties with trim command and select all. I'm gonna delete these ones. Okay, we have our bathroom as well. What we have to do next, let's first let's create our columns, or let's represent them on our drawing. Our columns will be 300 by 300 millimeters. So easily I'm gonna create a rectangle right here and just specify the first corner point, and then as you can see to the right I can choose the dimensions, or I can type them. So I just type 300 and then I press tab key and again 300, and now I have my column. Let's see if I created a layer for my columns. Yeah, that's it. Now I'm gonna move it. If you see, I can select one corner or I can select the center, and because many of my columns are intersecting with two grid lines, I'm gonna choose like this. Now I'm gonna copy it and put it on other places. I'll have one here, one in here, one in here, one in here, here, that's it, one here, here, here. I think these are all of them. Okay, one more thing. I need a window here in this bathroom, so I'm gonna just copy one of these. Yeah. Right now my window was 1200 millimeters wide. I'm gonna make it smaller, but 600, so I'm gonna move it to 600 this way. Let's delete this part of the lines. That's it. This one, you see, I have to delete only these lines. Okay, and this one. Let's delete this one too. Okay, we have a door, we have a window. Right now let's add our furniture and our fixtures. To do that, we can actually create them by drawing them, but this will take a long time to do. So you'll find on internet and a lot of places a lot of blocks. They're called blocks, which contains furniture, fixtures and all other things. I already have prepared my blocks. Basically you just have to open another program. That's it. These are my features which I'm gonna use them on my project. I want to copy them on my Autocad project. I can either press Ctrl and C, and then here I just type Ctrl plus V, or you can right click somewhere over here, go to clipboard and just press copy. Go to our project, right click somewhere over here, again clipboard and paste. You can choose copy with base point, or you just paste, or you can paste as a block, or you can paste to original coordinates. I'm gonna just use paste, and I'm gonna specify an insertion point. Let's put him here. That's it. Very good. I'm gonna show you, these are already blocks, you see. looks like a block. But what happens if I want to create a block? For example, I want to create a block from this window. If I have to copy it many times, and I don't want to select all of them, or I have many lines here, it's very simple. I just select them and just type block. That's it. Okay, let's just type a name. For example, window 1.20 meters, and press OK, and that's it. Now we have a block. It's much easier to copy, to move, than this one, which all the lines are separately. Okay, let's now populate our bathroom. We're gonna put a shower, move it from here to here. Yeah, toilet, the sink. For example, this one, I can rotate it and put it on this wall, or I can put it right here. Let's put this corner sofa. We'll put it in here. And that's it. This is a table. Somewhere over here. This looks like a TV, so we'll use it as a TV on the wall, like this. These shelves, let's put them there. Yeah, that's it. Oh, we have a nice car here, a Beetle. Let's put our Beetle in our garage. That's it. Started to look better and better, right? We'll put these ones in the kitchen. I'll put this table here. I don't know how this will fit in here, but we'll try. Let's put our sink here. In this case, I have to rotate. To do that, just select it, type in rotate, specify the base point, and that's it. I'm gonna put it here. Good, so far so good. I'm gonna move this one closer. This one I have to rotate it again. I'm gonna type rotate. That's it. This is a washing machine. I'll have the washing machine in here. And I'm gonna rotate this one. You see, it's much easier if there are blocks already. Let's put our freezer somewhere. I'm gonna try to fit it here, or not. Let's rotate it back. Yeah. I'm gonna put the freezer somewhere over here. You see, usually here you have something like a flat table or some. Here you can put also, let's just draw a line. This could be a shelf cupboard or something. It's up to you. Here is the same. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm just gonna, for example, copy this car. What happens if I don't want to use this as a block? So to do that, I have two options. I can just double click and I can edit the block definition. In this case it's Beetle car. Or I can just explode the block. Just if you type here explode, press enter. Now I have each line individually. I can modify or I can delete some lines if I want. Okay. Now let's represent our walls with some hatch. I have to show you how to do hatches. To do that easily, I need to hide again our grid lines. I'm gonna go to Home menu, to Layer Properties, and I'm gonna hide again the grid lines. That's it. Very good. I will hatch first our concrete columns. To make a hatch, you can just type hatch again, or you can select this one from here. That's it. Now I am asked if I pick internal point, you see, like this, and I have to press enter. Or I have another option where I can select my object. So our column needs a rectangle, a closed rectangle, so it works like this. I select the rectangle. Okay, but it's correctly other way. I'm gonna delete this one more time. Okay, we have another option. You can choose a gradient, which is a hatch again, but it has different shapes, as you can see. But for our example, now it's selected gradient, I want to make a hatch. I want to pick points. I want to use this hatch pattern, but the scale, I think it's not good. It looks like a solid hatch. So I'm gonna select my hatch and I'm gonna change the scale. I'm not sure which one is good. I'm gonna try 10. Oh, I'm getting closer. Let's try 50. Let's try 100. I think 200 will work. Yeah, 200. Let's increase it to 400. Yeah, much better. This is our hatch. I'm gonna change the hatch type. This hatch is on window layer, and I don't want to be like this. I'm gonna change it to columns. As you can see, now I have more layers here. This is because I imported the blocks, and those blocks, they were created on different layers, so that's why now I have many layers. Okay, I'm gonna create this. I'm gonna change to this, but right now I want these lines to make them, to change the thickness of these lines, to make them thinner, because I have different line weights. So if you click here, you can see which line is thicker and which one it doesn't. So to do that, I'm gonna change the thickness of this hatch. I have to go to home, and from here I'm gonna choose 15. That's it. I think it looks better. Now you can make the same thing to create a hatch to each one of the columns. I'm gonna deselect this one. Or, because all of them are the same, it's much easier to copy them. So I'm just press copy. I'm gonna select the center. I'll copy to each one of them. It's much easier like this. That's it. Now I want to represent properly my installation. Well, installation in Autocad, it's not a hatch, it's actually a line. So to do that, we'll just make a line. We'll try to make it as much as possible in the center. We'll just create a line here, and another line, or I just can offset this one. I know that the installation is 100, so I'm gonna go, that's it. And now I just have to change the type of this line to look like an installation. I want to change, let's see, I have the installation layer, that's very good. Now just have to change the type of it. Okay, so to change the line type, we have to go back to layer properties, go to installation layer, not the color, we go to line type, we go to load again, and from here we have to choose this line type. It's called batting. Click OK, select the batting line. Looks already has the shape of an installation. Just click OK. Now we have our installation. We can change the line type scale to 70, for example. I think 100 will work just good. That's it. Now I'm gonna match properties this line to this one. That's it. And now I'm gonna do the same to everyone. First I'm gonna offset to 50. That's it. Each line. It can be a long process. This line should be okay. What I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna match properties, all these ones. Yeah, it actually looks good. Now on the corners I'm gonna use fillet command. That's it. Okay, and now let's create a hatch for our walls. I'm gonna go again to hatch, and I'm gonna select this pattern for our walls. That's it. And let's click here. Again, I have to change the layer type first, which is called insulation. Now I'm gonna change our scale, which was 400, I think. Yeah, 400. I think in this case it can be 500 as well. That's it. So we'll do the same thing. Let's make these settings from the beginning. By layer, I should choose another layer in the beginning. Let's make the insulation layer active. So yeah, that's good. Let's click on hatch. We have the scale, we have the layer. Okay, we can just move on. And that's it. Okay, I've done all the hatches for our walls. Now let's add one more hatch, for example in this bathroom, to represent the tiles on the ground, on the floor. So I'm gonna go again to hatch, but now in this case I'm gonna choose this one too, this pattern again, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the angle to 45 degrees, and I'm gonna change the scale to 1500, and I'm just gonna click here. Okay, now our tiles looks good. We can also change, if you want, the color, actually the background color. Like this. And that's it. Now let's move on and add some text on our drawing. Okay guys, let's add some text to our project. We need to use to specify our room types and any other information we want to put here in our drawing. To add the text, make sure you are in the home menu and go to text command. As you can see, you have two types of text. I'll show you the first one, but before that let's change the layer to text. That's it. So let's choose the multi-line text. Basically we draw a rectangle like this, and now I'm gonna change the text height. I think 300 should go. Yeah, now I'm gonna type here living room. As you can see, first I chose, it was the multi-line text. This means I can write many lines of text I want. Now let me show you the single line text. It's the same thing. Ask me to specify rotation angle of text. I can put the text in any angle I want, but for now I want to be 0, so I'm gonna press enter, and I'm gonna type here living room. Don't worry about the size. I'm gonna change it after that. Just click anywhere. If I click anywhere, I can start typing around the text, but I'm gonna press escape. Now I'm gonna change the height of this text. You can do that by going to properties, and the height change it to 300 as well. As you can see, they look mostly the same, but in this case I cannot go below the text. It doesn't matter how much text I put, I'll just go horizontally. That's why it's called single line text. Now let me show you something else. What if we want to point something, for example this installation? So to do that, we'll use the ladder command. I can type here as well ladder or lead. That's it. Now I have to specify the leader start point, for example here, the next point, now here. Now I'm gonna press tab. You see I have options. I'm gonna press options, and you can choose many options here: tolerance, copy, block, or none, or if you want to add text. But my text I want to add it manually, so I'm gonna choose none. You can create a new text as well, or simply I'm copying this one and I will edit after that. So let's say (100mm) thickness installation. Let's delete this extra text. Now I want to adjust my text so it fits properly. I'm gonna drag this arrow. That's it. I can extend this line as well. Now something is missing at this ladder, actually an arrow. So I'm gonna go here to properties after I selected it. I'm going to lines and arrows. You have the arrow type here. You can choose. And actually we have to change our size. Let's try 100. As you can see, the arrow started to be visible here, but I want to make it bigger, so I'm gonna choose, I think 300 will work again. You can make it bigger, smaller, it's up to you. You can change the type of the arrow, type of text. Now usually when you're typing the name of the room or the type of the room, you're adding below the area of that room. So to do that, it's simply, again, we can just type area and AutoCAD will calculate our area automatically. So you choose the first point, then basically you are creating an area, and here we stop. Now that we have pointed our area, just press enter, and in here you'll see this is our area. It's in millimeters, so our area basically it's 17.6 square meters. I'm gonna double click here and I'll add it's 17.6 square meters. That's it. You can add text, you can specify the doors type and the windows and so on. Okay guys, we've added some text. Feel free to add more text if you like, put more informations. We'll move on and let's add some dimensions. Now, to do that, go to Annotate menu, and from here, first of all, you can just add a simple linear dimensions, or you can choose a line dimension, angular dimension, arc, radius, diameter, jogged and ordinate. But if you want to create your own style, you go here on this small arrow, and here we can modify our standard dimension by modify here, or we can create a new one. So let's create a new one. Let's say my style. Go continue. Here we can change our line, we can change the color, but let's say by layer. We can change our line type, but we want to be continuous. Line weight 0.09 millimeters. We have a lot of options to make. Leave it for now. I want to change the symbols on the arrows. Well, actually I don't want to change, leave it like this. The arrow sizes, I'll put 200 for now. Okay, we're good. You see, you have many types here of arrowheads. Let's leave it like this. Text, we'll put here 200. Text style, you can choose any type of style you want. I'll leave it like this. Text color, by layer, by block. If you want a fill color, which I don't want right now. Text placement, vertically, horizontal. How I want to feed them, I don't want to change any of these. Unit format, if you want to use decimal, scientific and so on, I'm gonna leave it like this. Precision, I don't want 4 zeros, I just leave it just 1. Okay, I don't want to change this. Tolerance is the same, and hit OK. Now close. Okay, let's first make one dimension. I'm gonna choose the linear one. I'm gonna click. Now I'm gonna click the first. And I have our we have our first dimension. Right now we are in millimeters. If you want to change this in meters, for example, we can go back here and modify our style, and we have to go to primary units, and the scale factor I have to change it to 0.01. I'm gonna hit OK. I need one more zero because it's not 70 meters. I'm gonna go back, modify again. I'll add one more zero. That's it. So it's 1.7 meters. I can do these things as well on here in the properties menu. For example, if I want to change the arrow size to 400, you see, I can do this from here. I'm gonna leave it 200 how it was. I can modify, I can choose the text style, position as well, almost every option we had over there. For example, I want to put one more zero in the precision, so I'm gonna do like this. We have here an option, you can use it or not. It's suppress trailing zero, which if I'm selecting to yes, the zero it's not visible anymore. I want to be visible for now. You can do the same thing inside the rooms. You see now I have only 1 0 after my dot. To do that every time, I can modify again in the primary units. I'm gonna change here to 2 zeros. That's it. Okay, this is horizontally and vertically dimension. Now if you look here, we have the align dimension. In case we have one line on a specific angle, I'm gonna just draw a line to show you how it works. If I'm using this dimension, the linear dimension, from here to here, it will give me only the vertically dimension or horizontally. So if I'm choosing the align dimension, it will actually tell me the exact dimension of my line. I'm gonna delete this. As you can see, you also have angular dimension. Feel free to choose and explore each one of them. Now let me show you something else. I'm gonna move this up. It's very easy. Select that and drag this. That's it. We have here another option which calls continue. That means we can continue our dimension. Let's click here. I must select the dimension I want to continue. I'm gonna click here and then I'm just click it like this. It's very easy. Another thing you can have, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna draw some lines here. I'm gonna use the offset command fast. Let's say 400. What 100? It's too less. Offset 1000. Okay, just a few lines to show you how it works. It's called the quick dimension. If you click on quick dimension and select the lines, press enter. Now I have all the dimensions very fast. One more thing, in case you have a drawing and you want to cut the plan, or you don't want to represent the whole plan. For example, right here my wall is actually much longer. Yeah, and this gap I want to be visible in my dimension too. So I'm going to select the dimension. I'm going to go here to break. Now I can choose auto, manual or remove. I'm going to choose manual. So I'm going to select this line and that's it. This is my dimension but with a gap. Feel free to explore the dimensions options. We have also transparency properties, change the dimension style. Actually, you can change the position of text. For example, let me show you text offset. I'm gonna put 50, for example. Let's see what happens. Yeah, 100, 500. You see, now it happens like this because our text is positioned in the center. But what if I am changing there? You see, actually Autocad shows me what he will do. This is the position horizontally, the position vertically, it's above, outside. You can put below. If you want to put it up above, the text offset it's too much, 100. Okay, I have added some dimensions myself. A few more things I want to show you about these dimensions. As you can see, I don't like these long lines here, and this line in here it's too short. So to fix this, I'm gonna select my dimensions. I can do this from our style, but I'm just doing it quickly like this. And here on extend line, I'm gonna choose, let's say 300 for example. Look what happens. I extended these lines by 300, and here let's make 500, or we can make it more, 1000. Yeah, looks better. Now what happens if I want to override my dimension? Let's say I'm not drawing on a scale. So to do that, I need to select my dimension, and it's very simple. It's called text override, and just type anything you want, and that's it. It's very easy. As you can see, I changed before my layer type. I changed it to dimensions layer, so that's why it looks different. Okay, now let's print our drawing. You'll probably use this option to print it or save it as PDF. There's two ways to do that. You can print directly from the model, or you can print from the layout page. Now let me show you the first way. To do that, just go to print, like press Ctrl and P. Yeah, this window appears. Now here you choose the printer plotter, which I don't have a printer installed, so I'm going to choose this one, WG to PDF. Now here I must choose the paper size. I'm going to choose an A3 for this one. That's it. Plot area, you can plot as display, exactly what you see. Extends, limits, in my case I'm using window. Automatically I have to select the drawing I want to print. Basically I have to make a rectangle, so I'm gonna click here. I make like a rectangle, and that's it. Here if I want to offset my drawing on X and Y, I don't want in this case, but I want to select this one, center the plot, so my drawing will be in the center of the paper. Fit the paper was already selected. If I don't want to fit the paper, I can choose the scale. I can make it custom from here, but I want to fit the paper usually. Now here you can choose the plot style table. It was monochrome right now. Monochrome means when I'm printing, my drawing will be in black and white. There are several styles which they are predefined here. Feel free to explore all of them, but these are the most important. Monochrome one and known. Known means there's no style attached to our drawing. That means that you can print the exact colors that they are on the model. So if I'm choosing the known one, as you can see, you have here a new one, you can create a new style, anyone you want. Here again are some options: shade plot, quality. Here again it's important: plotting background, plot object line weights. Here, if I'm selecting this one, you remember that our lines doesn't have all of them the same thicknesses. So in this case, if it's selected, it actually have a message specify whether line weights assigned to objects and layers are plotted. Plot transparency: if we have some lines or hatches or something else with the transparency. Plot with plot styles, and that's it. Here you can choose the drawing orientation. Here you have a preview if you like to see before you print or save in PDF. So I'm gonna click preview to see how my drawing looks like. And that's it. This is our drawing in PDF. As you can see here, you have space for text block, which I didn't create it, but it's up to you. Now, actually in this moment, it's not saved in PDF. I have one more step to do. Just click here, plot, and ask me to select where I want to save it. Choose the file name. Here it's only PDF, nothing I can do. I'm just gonna leave it like this. You can choose which name do you want. Just click save. Now our drawing is saved on PDF. You see, this line is thicker than this one, for example, because I choose from the beginning the lines of the wall to be thicker. Let's close this one. Let me show you the second way of printing. By choosing a layout, as you can see, you have this plus button here. You can create as many layouts as you want. You see, it's very easy. If you right click on one of them, you see you can actually create a new one. Move, select all of them. You can actually delete. Yeah, I want to delete it. Let's say I want to delete one more. If you press Ctrl and then select them, you can delete, for example, 3 of them if you want, or many of them. That's it. Let's go to layout. Let's first change the name. It's very easy. Right click and rename. So I'm gonna say, for example, floor plan. Good. Now, before I print, I want to specify the dimension of my paper in here. So I'm gonna right click here. I'm gonna go to page setup manager, modify. Right now the plot size is 8.5 or by 11 inches. Here you can choose the plotter. I'm gonna choose WG to PDF. Paper size, let's making an A3. In this case I'm gonna leave it layout because I'm in the layout. You can actually choose window if you want. There are the same settings, monochrome or not. I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna press OK. Now you see this is an A3 paper size. This rectangle here, it's actually our viewport. So shows us what exactly will be printed. I'm gonna make this one wider so it can fit on my paper. That's it. Now, while I have selected my viewport, go to the properties menu, and here you have the scale. can choose a standard scale, custom scale. Right now our scale is 0.0005 and annotation scale is 1 by 1. If you don't want to use a scale, you just can double click inside the paper and by scrolling the mouse you can change the scale and double click outside. Let me select our viewport again. So in this case our custom scale is 0.008. Let's make it 0.001. As you can see on 001 it's not okay. 0.0009. Yeah, you can choose your scale as you want, but usually I believe you want to fit it on your page. Here you can choose different scales. These are predefined, actually have in inches. You can actually create new one. It's up to you. Custom scale, the same thing. Scale to fit, it's a good option here. And now press Ctrl and P. The same options. I'm gonna press preview first to see how it looks like. Yeah, it's looking good. Let me show you one more thing before I can print it right now. For example, I just press plot and I can save. Or what I wanted to show you is that in this layout model, layout paper, you can actually draw. For example, we want to draw here a text block. You can choose line. Let's change the layer. I don't know, I don't have a layer for a text block, but usually you have to create one. In this case I'm gonna use just a random one, for example column, doesn't matter. And you can create your text block. It's as simple as that. You can do the same thing. Yeah, this is not a proper text block, but I was just drawing to show you that you can do this in here. You can actually copy in here other drawings like blocks or everything. So these are the ways you can print it. Remember, what I've shown you in this tutorial is just a small part from Autocad. Autocad is a very complex software, but this is what you need to start, learn it, and feel free to explore as many other options and commands and everything. Thank you for watching. I hope this will be helpful for you, and good luck.